WJBD, Salem, Centralia.
From the depths of radio nothingness comes Radio Nowhere. This is Radio Nowhere. Is there anybody alive out there? This is Radio Nowhere. Is there anybody alive out there? WJBD is proud to permit Radio Nowhere.
All right, we're back.
We are back.
And welcome back.
This is Radio Nowhere.
On a special night.
Why is it special, Steve?
Well, what happens in this time of year in the fall?
What happens every year? It's not special.
It gets colder?
Well,
Leaves fall off trees.
That happens.
Frost warnings. Sometimes snow.
Santa starts making a list.
People get candy.
Christmas trees go up.
What do we do with our clocks?
Clocked. I just check my cell phone.
Yeah, really. I don't know. Do people?
We fall back.
Oh.
And tonight is that.
Here,
night.
let's
This
do
morning
it
is that
together,
morning.
guys. Oh.
Oh no.
So at 2 o'clock, do I have to set my cell phone back an hour?
Yes,
Can I call you and make sure that I'm doing it right, Steve?
please do.
If your cell phone doesn't automatically set for what a cell phone costs nowadays, there's something wrong.
Yes.
Throw it in the river.
You have to have an archaic cell phone, like perhaps the one Tackett has.
Mine even does that. Mine sets itself
Yours
back.
barely makes calls.
Barely.
So it's Radio Nowhere. This is Matt Donahoe.
Matt Tackett.
Chad Spray.
And Steve Stein.
We got a full house this week. So it is the week when we turn our clocks back, we fall back, and it's at 2 a.m. So wait, Steve, does that mean at 3 a.m. it becomes 2 a.m.? Or at 2 a.m. it becomes 1 a.m.?
At 2 a.m. it becomes 1 a.m.
So see, theoretically, we could broadcast all the way till 2 and still end our show at 1.
Yes.
Is that
It'd be
is
like
that what
the
we're
last
doing?
hour never happened. No, we're not doing that.
Oh, okay,
Are you
good.
crazy?
A little bit.
A little bit. So as part of the whole
Time celebration.
time of the season,
Time celebration.
we have
'Tis time season.
It's a special day.
it is a special. Apparently, it's a holiday
Morning.
for Steve because he gets another hour of sleep. We have themed our show tonight around time, and we have kicked things off with Huey Lewis in the News from the Back to the Future soundtrack. Mm-hmm. And that song is
Back in time.
Back in Time.
By Huey
and
Lewis in the News.
yes, and before that we heard Smashing Pumpkins. I'm sorry, and then after that we heard Smashing Pumpkins and Today. Now, Steve, you dropped a very controversial bit of opinion when we were listening to the music, and what is that?
That I have always thought that song is better than The Power of Love any day of the week.
So
The Celine Dion song?
No.
of the two songs on the
Back to the Future soundtrack.
Back to the Future soundtrack, you were preferring Back in Time, the lesser known. Didn't they play it over the credits of that movie?
It's on the radio. I know when Marty wakes up.
Oh, okay, that's what I'm
But
thinking of.
Yeah, I don't remember as far as the credits go.
And Chad, you were just totally disagreeing with that.
If it was up to me, we would fire Steve right now for that thought.
Do you feel that strongly about it, Chad?
Power of Love is by far the better song.
Nah.
Yeah.
What? Okay, Steve. What makes Back in Time a superior song?
I just have always liked it more. I mean, one might argue that it has something to do with the fact that maybe it didn't get as much airplay, but I've always liked that song better.
And Chad, what's your rebuttal?
Just it's the power of love. You hear that first chord, you know what it is. You think Back to the Future. No, Steve's just wrong on this one.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Are we talking about what you identify with the movie, or what makes it a better song?
It all goes into it. I mean, I identify that song to that movie. I mean, I hear that song on the radio, and I think, roads where we're going, we don't need roads.
Yeah, but,
I mean, that pops in my head. I don't hear Back in Time. I don't associate it with it.
That doesn't even make sense because, I mean, that's just by title. Which one fits the movie better? Back in Time clearly describes...
I'm going to say point Steve on that one.
Okay.
I mean, not that he's won the argument. I'm just going to say point Steve there.
But you associate the power of love with Back to the Future.
Because
yes,
just because you hear that's the song that they play all the time.
And you're saying hold on, and what we're saying is that if these are both good songs, right? Are we both agreeing that? Can we agree that
they're
these
good songs? Yeah.
Okay, then I think what Chad's arguing is the fact that since he likes the movie Back to the Future, the fact that is the theme song, Power of Love is the theme song. He's saying that's what scores it extra points, kind of. Or is that? Am I close there with that argument?
Mean, you're in the neighborhood. Yeah, you're in the neighborhood.
Okay.
But the question is, are you saying it's the better song just in terms of that movie, or are you just saying it's the better song?
Right.
Because I think that's a totally separate argument.
Well, and I agree. But what Chad's saying is what adds to its total is its association with Back to the Future as well. Which is true. I mean, that's why everybody likes music for different reasons. It's what the associations we attach to it.
Put it this way, while Back in Time fits thematically better with Back to the Future, if you had to take one song away and you don't lose anything, you're gonna keep Power of Love, and you're gonna lose the other song.
Okay, keep one, drop one. You can never hear it again. Which one do you keep? Which one do you drop?
Oh, that's easy. Back in Time's gone.
No.
So, but then, okay, Steve, then you're fine with never hearing Power of Love again.
Yes.
What about replacing Power of Love with Back in Time in the movie Back to the Future?
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Okay.
There it is.
No, that's an extreme.
Just
that's
because
an extreme
of the
case.
placement of the song. I mean, it's at a point where they're showing his life and how everything's going well, and he's in love. And
Steve, would you not agree that Power of Love, though, has become, outside of the movie, iconic? Like one of those classic songs?
I mean, it has. I agree.
Okay.
I just was saying, for me personally, I've always liked Back in Time better.
Yeah, no argument. We're just hashing out, talking music, talking time here on Radio Nowhere. And we are actually going to talk more about Back to the Future later on in the hour when we talk time travel movies, because time is our theme.
Yes.
And time is on our side. Yes, what?
Just talking about, I don't know what jarred it, but time travel and whatnot, a movie just popped into my head.
Okay, well, we'll cover that in a little bit. Again, our theme tonight, time on Radio Nowhere. And this is Bob Dylan. Things Have Changed on WJBD. But things have changed. Reflection on life there from Bob Dylan, and on Radio Nowhere, it's our time-themed episode. And boy, things are heated up here. Didn't realize everybody felt so strongly about their time travel movies until we got up here. And first of all, our first segment, we're talking about the songs from Back to the Future, let alone the movie itself. One of the things we're going to talk about is time travel TV shows and movies tonight. And so, in no particular order, for starters, what do you think are the best time travel movies out there? Everybody give us one. And by the way, let's just call Back to the Future one of the best. I think we can...
I agree.
Let's just call it, as far as the strict, time travel, it is the best. I mean, it is number one. I don't think that can be questioned. Then there are various degrees of time travel.
Well, I wasn't going to go that far. I'm going to say let's just call it one of the good ones, one of the great ones. But
the best, yeah.
Okay, so Chad, give us one of yours.
Go ahead. I'm still trying to compose my arguments because I think I may get a little disagreement on if it's actual time travel.
Oh, all right. Tackett, what do you think?
I can't even really come up with beyond Time Bandits, but
now Time Bandits, they were going through different eras, right?
I would say actually my favorite movie involving time travel would be Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Okay, that's great.
It's a good one.
Yeah, perfect example. I mean, it's, they move through eras. They go back in time.
Visit Miss Joan of Arc,
Miss
Dave
Joan of Arc.
Beef Oven,
And what was it?
Socrates Johnson.
Socrates Johnson. And, of course, Abraham Lincoln.
Party on, dudes.
Steve, what's one of yours?
I don't know that I would say.
Just one you think's real good. Doesn't have to be your greatest of all time.
I mean, you've got, of course, Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home, where they go back and
Right.
save the whales.
Yeah.
Isn't there some time travel involved in one of the Terminators? Is that right?
And all of them.
Yeah, they're sent back.
Well,
from the
yeah,
future.
And that was
that's true.
that was the one I was going to put forth was Terminator 2.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Terminator, but Terminator 2 is probably my favorite time travel or movie that, revolves around time travel.
And did I not read correctly that they're going to make another one with Schwarzenegger?
Genesis, isn't it?
Yeah. What's up with that?
I don't know. But,
Arnie needs a hit.
so, Chad, what is the one that you were considering?
There's a couple, but the one that I love the most, and I think you love aspects of it, is A Christmas Carol. Yeah.
No, I love Christmas Carol. I see what you mean. Is it
That's
time travel?
Yeah.
Well, you're over there shaking, but the ghost takes him to the future to
the
show
future.
him events.
Yeah, that's.
And he takes him to the past to show him events that have occurred. That is time.
That's a stretch.
That's the very definition of time travel.
Well, I mean, and I think the issue here is the fact that we are seeing past and present through his memories, or at least the past through his memories, and then the
Right.
present and future. I mean, I guess, or extrapolation. I guess theoretically. But if we're going to assume the basic principle of Christmas Carol is that the ghosts are real, it's
Yeah.
not just him having
Yeah.
some sort of spiritual awakening, then it works. It's a metaphysical type of.
Yeah, I mean, there's the open discussion for it, and following off that, the one that, I mean, if you don't want to call it time travel, but It's a Wonderful Life. There's definitely an alternate timeline once he meets Clarence and he sees what happened if he's never been born. I mean, it's time and it's an alternate timeline. Well, granted, it's not strictly time travel.
See, I think that would be something else.
I think he just had a bad biscuit before he went to bed or something.
Are we limiting ourselves to just Christmas movies?
Yeah, well, that's the other thing, Chad.
Me going with something, Chris. If it was up to me, we'd be listening to Christmas music right now.
Well, thankfully, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not up to you. So let's throw a couple others
One
out
that we
here.
were talking about earlier that I'm going to say it's probably one of his only movies that I actually kind of enjoy would be Time Cop.
Time Cop, yeah. One of Van Damme's?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not the Treat Williams, I believe, sequel.
Was there a sequel?
There's been a couple, and I think Treat Williams.
Was not aware of that.
Yeah.
And one of the things you've got, we talked about Terminator 2, Bill and Ted, Back to the Future, Time Cop,
I feel like we're missing
Christmas Carol. Well, I've got a couple more, and Star Trek 4. One of the things those all have in common is that you can go back in time and change the future, or the past, for that matter,
Right,
or change
yeah.
events. And that's one school of time travel.
Yeah.
But then you've got the other school of things, like the movie 12 Monkeys. Do you guys remember 12 Monkeys?
Oh, yeah.
I've not
Willis.
seen that movie.
You've not seen 12 Monkeys?
I have not.
Really? You need to.
Yeah, you really do. And kind of the catch behind it is they can send people back in the past, but everything ends up happening the way it happened. Like everything just fits together.
Time is immutable.
Yes, exactly. It's a flat circle, so to speak, and things are bound to repeat and continue no matter what. So, and another movie that I don't know if you guys have seen or heard of is called Primer.
Is that movie about painting?
No, it's a movie about two guys who discovered how to time travel, and the movie is difficult to understand.
Are they in the garage? They're doing it in the garage, making their device in a garage.
Yes, and then they take it and hide it in a storage locker.
Yeah.
And it's a difficult to understand movie to the point that after you see it, it is recommended that you look up one of the flowcharts that fans of the movie have designed to show you when everything takes place and how it takes place.
It's a little more work than I want to do for most movies.
Yeah, exactly. So you've got two. You've got the can change and can't change. Actually, going off 12 Monkeys, we also had Looper. I don't know if you guys saw that a few years ago.
No, I haven't.
Also with Bruce Willis, like 12 Monkeys.
Never saw it.
That was pretty good. I mean, it is not the greatest thing, but it had its moments.
So let's talk TV now.
Oh, Steve is chomping at the bit. Steve.
So there were a couple Twilight Zone episodes.
That's about it for time.
I'm sure there was a Full House episode where
what was the name of that TV show where the kid went through time?
Time Travelers.
Time Travelers. Is that
Bog.
the show?
Bog.
Bog.
Jeffrey and Bog.
And Steve, what are you waiting to talk about?
Quantum Leap.
Quantum Leap. One of the best.
It is.
Chad doesn't like it because of the finale.
Finale ruins it. Just the finale takes everything it had done and just puts a taint on it for me. I can't watch it just because you see the opening talking about hoping the next leap will be his leap home. Spoiler alert, he never leaps home.
Well, he does leave home. He just doesn't stay home. I mean, there were episodes where he leaped home as his younger self.
Yeah, he did. But I think we all know what they meant in the opening.
And the thing that I'm taking away from this is how personally Chad is taking this. It's like a betrayal.
It's a
Personal
slight.
vendetta.
Yeah, I think,
When I was in high school, I wrote an article trashing NBC about the Quantum Leap.
Chad,
ending.
were you hurt by the finale of Quantum Leap?
I was not happy.
Has it been hard for you to love a TV series since Quantum Leap went off the air?
I don't watch Quantum Leap on reruns anymore.
Really?
Yep, cannot do it.
So, and you know what? Here's the other thing, Steve.
Yes.
This is some place I think you and Chad are going to disagree as well, and I don't know that Tackett has a strong opinion about.
I don't have a strong opinion on the last one, so
Back to the
past
Future.
results.
Back to the Future. What about Back to the Future 2 and 3?
Here we go. I think I'm in the minority on this one.
I know Chad thinks Back to the Future 2 is like the best.
Excuse me? No, listeners, let's correct that. Part 1 is the best. Part 2 is just god-awful garbage.
Is that
I
okay?
hate Part
Yeah.
2 of the trilogy. If they would sell me Parts 1 and 3 and purposely keep 2, that would be fine with me. It should go 1, 3, and then if we're calling to a film, 2. That's my thoughts.
See, and I don't mind. I'm not going to totally disagree with Chad because 2 is probably my least favorite of the trilogy. But 2 is very critical. I mean, it's almost confusing at times just because there's a lot of jumping around. But
Yeah, I love 2. I love 2 better than 3.
See, I don't think 2 holds up. I saw it on TV the other day, probably last couple months, and watched about 20 minutes and just couldn't get through it. Granted, I already had a strong dislike for it, but I could not get through it, where 3 I can watch.
And what I love about 2 is when they go back in time again to 1955, where Marty has already been, and then they have to work around
yeah, I mean, there's
everything
a lot
that's
going on. But
and they set up a lot of things in Part 3. I mean, technically, that was kind of one of those first movies that they filmed all at once and split over 2 movies. Before, like, Lord of the Rings and Pirates of the Caribbean and all those did that, they put those out, because they put out, first one's in 85, and then the other 2 came out, I think, either the same year or like a year apart. Like in 1990, 91, something like that.
something I enjoy about 2 is the way it ends, where Doc is in the flying DeLorean at that point and gets hit by lightning, sends him back in time. So Marty has to find 1955 Doc, who had just sent Marty back to the future.
And he finds him like moments after the first movie
like
ends.
right after, yeah. And that causes problems with Doc.
I wonder, because I'm trying to think, I wonder if there's like of course the movie is probably already fairly chronological, but I wonder if there's a chronological edit somewhere online of all 3 movies. Because, you know, people love to edit stuff. So you could watch Part 1, but also with the stuff from Part 2 in 1955.
Right.
That would be a great way to cash in on some money, because for as much as I give to, if that came out, I'd go right now and pick it up.
So you don't. So you hate 2.
I hate 2.
But if I gave you like a chronological story of
Bring it on.
So I guess chronologically then, because there wouldn't that would be the thing you'd break up the structure of the drama, but I guess chronologically you would start with 3.
Yeah.
When Marty shows up
As Clint Eastwood.
in part 3, you would basically have the entirety of part 3 up until the resolution, up until the last 10 minutes, right?
Yeah.
So you'd have that up to where he leaps, or not leaps, that's quantum leap, where he time travels, and then you would jump to
55.
To where in 55? When, because I'm trying to remember who shows up first, Marty or Marty from part 2.
Oh.
So then you would have.
Well, they show. Well, Marty from. Well, I'm trying to think. And in the second one. No, I think the first one when he goes
Marty
back
1.
initially. Yeah, I think he goes back initially.
Marty 1 shows up then.
Yeah.
And then, so we'd have Marty 1, and then you would cut those scenes with the scenes from Back to the Future 2, where Marty 2, we're calling him, is essentially following him.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you'd get done with all the 55 stuff and jump to
1985.
85, and also alternate 85 from Back to the Future
Right.
2.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you would have your resolution of everything there, and then have this weird, like, I don't even know what you call that weird little.
The train.
Well, I mean, that would be the big resolution right there, because that is the last chronological thing in current Marty. Well, wait, in current Marty's life, the train is the last thing.
What about when he and Doc go to the future?
But that's what I'm saying. Chronologically,
Yeah.
the last thing is the train.
Okay. Yes.
So in current Marty's current time.
Right.
So you'd have a nice little resolution, but then you'd have this whole weird half movie that takes place in, is it 2015?
I think so. Yeah.
That doesn't have
anything.
I guess it has it's almost like another little short movie added onto it, because it's like, let's save Marty's kids, and that's all it is. It's one little.
That'd be fine with me.
You'd like that, so you'd be all in for a chronological.
Yep.
Back to the Future.
The Radio Nowhere cut.
That someone out there make that happen. Make that happen for us.
Our 2 fans, get on that.
Get on that. All right, well, coming up, we are going to check weather, but first, it is more time-related music. This is Eddie Money. I want to go back on Radio Nowhere. It's Radio Nowhere, and that's Eddie Monkey. And you hate that, don't you?
I do.
Because you really like Eddie Money.
I do. I'm a big fan. Wow.
I mean, is he one of your? Would you
Listen to
call him
Walk
one
on
of
Water now too?
Maybe.
Just
Is-
one
You should
note.
for the forecast because there's some rain.
Is he one of your favorites?
Yeah, he is. He is.
Like, would you-
Somebody who I have never, I won't say ever heard live in concert, because I did hear him from the line of the Screaming Eagle at Six Flags once.
Wait.
Were you in line for the Screaming Eagle, or was he?
I was in line.
Hey, everybody! I got 2 tickets to Six Flags.
No, I was in line.
He was just way ahead of you in the line.
Yeah. So, explain. Wait. Now what?
You know how Six Flags has concerts?
Yes.
He was performing the concert, and I was in line at the Screaming Eagle.
And he's one of your favorites. Why didn't you go see the concert?
I was in grade school at the time, I think.
Okay.
I
So, were you there by yourself?
no, it was, I think, Mom and Carrie and.
Well, why didn't you have your mom take you to see Eddie Money then, if he was one of your favorites?
Honestly, I don't think at the time I knew he was there in concert, and I don't know. We were in line for the Screaming Eagle.
So now you just flash back to that memory and think I could have seen him.
I know. I want to go back and do it all over.
Aww. So we're bringing up these kind of tragic memories tonight. Quantum Leap with Chad, Eddie Money with Steve. Tacking anything on
No, I'm
on
good.
board for you that we need to revisit? All right, so Steve wants to go back and do it all again and see Eddie Money.
I do.
So were you riding the Screaming Eagle trying to look at the concert while he's singing, and
I don't remember.
you just remember missing your chance?
I do.
Oh, boy. All right. It is weather time, brought to you by our sponsor, Donnie's Biscuits.
No. John's Biscuits.
Oh, jeez. I apologize. John's Biscuit Emporium is the sponsor of Radio
We're gonna get
Nowhere.
flack over that.
Yep. Sorry about that.
Hello. Hi there, very good pal of mine. It is so fortuitous that we can have natural and casual conversations about all manner of things. Biscuits even.
Do you mean the nummy, only fresh biscuits of John's Biscuit Emporium?
Yes, dude, those never ever day old biscuits are a fine quality food product for eating. Be confident in those biscuits from John's Biscuit Emporium.
True dat, biscuit eater buddy. But how might I eat such a fine, hot, fresh, only just baked biscuit item?
Verily, you must put the biscuit in your mouths and chew up them. Please heed my unblinking wisdom. You cannot consume biscuits intravenously.
Nor can you eat them with your knee or your ear. And hugging your biscuit is simply not proper, almost uncouth. A pat or a thumbs up, maybe.
I thumb up all the racks when I go there.
Everyone knows where and how to arrive at John's Biscuit Emporium in Salem. Feet, car, bike, scoot on your back. Follow the delicious freshness downtown to John's. Fly to the moon on the delectable wings of a biscuit and never come home.
I know I can go to John's Biscuit Emporium in Salem for fresh biscuit and not nothing else besides.
My confidence in these eaten biscuits abounds.
You magnificent biscuit, I read your book.
Weather brought to you by John's Biscuit Emporium, not Donnie's Biscuits. Now with Steve Stein.
For the remainder of the morning, it looks like we're going to get down to a low of 31 degrees, which is actually where we're at right now.
We're at 31 degrees.
Yes.
Whew.
And a week ago, it was like 70.
Was it?
Yes.
So we're going back in time for our forecasts? Is that what you're saying?
We should be. It was nicer back a week ago.
Okay.
Today, I always do that.
Yeah.
Which is it?
Sunday, today, a high of 50, and looks like it's going to be mostly sunny. Tonight.
Monday?
It's going to be
65?
a
I didn't know
low of
tonight started with
37,
such a long
partly
S sound
cloudy.
I
there.
didn't know Cobra Commander was doing
Monday.
our weather.
Here is the forecast for the Joes.
Monday, mostly sunny with a high of 63.
Isn't that mostly sunny?
Monday night, a chance of rain, 50% with a low of 48. Tuesday, 90% chance of rain with a high of 57.
So you're saying there's a chance of showers?
No, just rain.
Sprinkles?
No rain. And
No
looking
rain.
on to your week, the rest of the week, after Tuesday night, it looks like the rain is going to move out of here. A high of 60 Wednesday. Thursday, sunny, 55. And it looks like it's going to cool off a little bit Friday, 52. And looking ahead to next Saturday, a high of 55 and partly sunny.
Sunny.
That's your forecast.
What about a chance of snow?
No.
We're going to see that later?
No.
All right, it's our time show. Chad, what's this one?
Warren Zevon's Dirty Life and Times.
Radio Nowhere, Elvis Costello, and the attractions every day.
What was that?
That was the start of shipbuilding. Before that,
say almost a
though,
whole chord.
before that, though, the song we heard was "Every Day I Write the Book." Going along with our time-themed episode tonight, entitled "No Time for Love." Radio Nowhere.
What did we hear before that?
Before that, we heard Warren Zevon, "Dirty Life and Times."
Good job.
And stuff.
And stuff, Dirty Life and Times and stuff. And before that, we heard the weather forecast brought to you by Cobra Commander.
I believe next week it's Miss Scarlett's turn.
That is Cobra Commander, also known as Steve Stein. I'm sorry, Steve.
Are you finished?
Look at him stewing over there.
Can I finish?
I'm just getting started. Little Al Pacino and Cobra Commander there for you, Steve.
That's great.
Oh, boy. So every week on Radio Nowhere, we try to have some songs maybe you don't normally hear on this radio station or others. And we've been trying to tie them to a theme. And this week, it's been about time. So we've had a look back at time itself and the way things have changed over time. And
It's been fascinating.
it's been fascinating, but it's about time to wrap up. Anything else we need to add tonight, Chad?
Quantum Leap's finale was horrible. Thank you.
Okay. I mean, nothing like railing against a show that has been off the air literally decades.
I will not rest until Samuel Beckett is returned home.
I'm sure there's someone's written some fan fiction that solves that problem.
Here's the thing.
Chad's now going to look up on.
Here's the thing. Never go online and look for fan fiction. It's frightening.
Oh, no.
It's frightening.
How frightening is it?
Okay. You want to know how frightening it is?
Yes.
There is a romantic comedy movie set at Christmas called Love Actually. Are you
Yes,
familiar with
I
it?
am. I've seen it.
It's got Hugh Grant,
A whole bunch of people.
and they all have these intertwining storylines about love and Christmas, and right?
Yes.
There's fan fiction about it.
Why?
Yeah, well, exactly.
Well,
Those-
something like that, yeah. I mean, but like Quantum Leap?
Because
I can see it.
someone sat down and went, 2 hours of Love Actually, surely there's got to be another 3 encyclopedias worth of stories that could have been told about these characters.
And how do we know that there is actually Love Actually fan fiction out there? Because Chad told me about it.
Well, yeah.
Which at some level means, well, no, at one
the base
level means
at the base level.
Chad looked for it.
Chad, can you confirm or deny that?
Anyone that's listened to me knows it's probably the least of my offenses. So, yeah, I can confirm
So
that.
at a certain point, you sat down and said, I wonder if anyone continued these character stories online.
Yep, guilty.
So how delighted were you when you found out the answer was yes?
I was more delighted than I was at the Quantum Leap finale.
That seems like such a weird comparison to make. So I'm going to move on.
I would.
Tacken, anything you need to add?
Nah, I still can't think of anything, no.
And Steve, anything you need to add?
Like our Facebook page, WJBD Radio Nowhere.
Okay. So if we had the choice to go back in time and fix one thing,
Oh, my.
okay, I'm going to give you guys a choice, though. One thing before we wrap up here. Would it be...
Steve.
No. Listen, you have to choose. And we're going to take a vote.
Okay, we're not going to get to guess something. You're going to give us
I'm
the
going to give you
options?
2 options, and you have to choose. If we could go back in time
It's
and
going to
change...
get violent, isn't it?
Would you, 1, change the ending of Quantum Leap, or 2, go back and let Steve see Eddie Money in concert at Six Flags? Okay, you guys have to vote. Chad, what do you vote?
Quantum Leap.
Steve, what do you vote?
This is the dumbest thing you've ever done.
But what do you vote?
I want to go see Eddie Money.
So, and since I posed it, I'm going to stay out of it. Tackett is the tiebreaker. Tackett, we're going to go back in time. We're going to fix one thing. What is it going to be?
Steve can see Eddie Money.
Yes!
It's a Christmas...
Scott Bakula hates you both.
It's a Christmas miracle. No, it's a daylight savings time miracle.
It is a special day.
It's Steve's special
My
day.
special holiday.
All right, if you like what you heard, please tell a friend.
If you don't like what you heard at 2 o'clock, it'll be 1 again.
Don't tell anybody ever.
It's Radio Nowhere wrapping up. Here is Todd Snyder. Enjoy yourself
I'm going to go see Eddie Money.
on Radio Nowhere.
Bye.
WJBD Salem Centralia.
This has been an I Love Raisins production.